In this video, we're going to learn how to convert or simplify fractions on the TI-30XS Multiview calculator. So this calculator has a lot of nice features that are readily visible right on the main screen. So I just want to draw your attention here first. N over D, if you click this button, it gives you a space to make any fraction. And you can enter them by using the arrows to go up and down. Note when I click on a button it turns red, and here is the key press history. So if you want to go back and see how to do something, you can look at this history to find out. So that's a regular fraction. If you hit the second green button right above it, it says UND, and that is for a mixed number. So that's the whole number part, and here is the fractional part. Okay. You can also, if I do 5 divided by 9, that's equivalent to the fraction 5/9. There's a decimal, and this toggle button will take you back and forth between simplified fractions and decimals. So if I hit it once, there's the fraction. If I hit it again, it'll give me the decimal. Okay. There's also another button here, second, right here it says F to D. That also converts between fractions and decimals. Okay, so those are some basics. Now let's look at these problems. So I'm going to clear this out. So the first says rewrite 87/5 as a mixed number and a decimal. Okay, so we could just use division, but the fraction button's right here. So 87 over 5. Okay. And actually here's a button I didn't mention. Right here in green it says ND, and then it has a toggle UND. So if you give this a fraction, a single fraction, this one's improper because the numerator is larger than the denominator. If you give it a simple fraction like this, it'll convert it to a mixed number. So I'm going to hit second and this button. Okay, and that's kind of hard to read, but that says ND toggle UND. I hit enter, and then you have your mixed number. Okay. Just to note, if we wanted to go back, okay, if I gave it this mixed number, something nice is I'm just going to hit second and this button again, and it takes your previous answer, so you don't have to retype this in, and it would give me the simplified improper fraction. Okay. Now let's write this as a decimal, and all I have to do is hit this toggle button, or you could use this second fraction decimal, but the toggle's a lot easier. And we have 17.4. Okay. So our mixed number was 17 2/5, and our decimal is 17.4. And I've updated our answers right here. So here's the mixed number, here's the decimal. Let's look at the next one. I am going to clear this all out, so you could refer to these keys later. Write 6 37/40 as an improper fraction and a decimal. Okay. So since we have a mixed number button, let's start there. So I'm going to hit second and the ND button, which gives me UND, or the whole number, which is 6. Then the fraction is 37. Note I'm using the arrows to navigate through this. And now to get out of this fraction, because right now it's still in the denominator, I'm going to move it to the right. Okay. And now I want to write that as an improper fraction. Well, we can use this button right here, second. And as an improper fraction, it's 277 over 40. Now for the decimal, I can just hit this toggle button. And as a decimal, this is equivalent to 6.925. And I've added our answers here. So there's the improper fraction, and here's the decimal. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're asked to simplify the fraction 252 over 900. So I'm going to put this fraction in over 900. And the calculator will automatically simplify this. So if I hit enter, it gives me the simplified version. Okay, so these are equivalent fractions, but I guess they divided by 436 on both the top and the bottom. So that way you can simplify your fractions. There'll be a lot of cases where your answer needs to be simplified. So even if you're not sure if they have common factors in the numerator and denominator, for example, if you had 5/8, that's actually already simplified. But you could enter it again and you'll see that the result is the same because it always gives you the simplified version. And here is the result, 7/25. Now we're asked to simplify a mixed number. Okay? So note, with a mixed number, the only part you really need to simplify is the fractional part, the proper fraction. So -7 can't be simplified. But I do want to show you the negative case, so why don't we do both? So let's clear this out. So first, if I wanted to put in the whole thing, note this is a negative sign. These are our operations: division, multiplication, subtraction, addition. A negative sign is different. It's this little symbol down here. So I'm going to hit negative. Oops, actually that's good. So I hit the negative sign. Now I'm going to set up the mixed number. It might have let me hit the negative afterwards too. 7 and then 156 over 180. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. It may actually give us an improper fraction. Let's see. And it did. It gave us an improper fraction, but it simplified it. So notice this 180 in the denominator here it's a 15. So now let's change this to back to a mixed number. So I'll hit this one that toggles between the two. And we have -7 and 13/15. Okay. And just to note, we could have just started with, we didn't really have to put in the -7. If we started with 156 over 180, whoops, sorry. I deleted that 180. I needed to get it on the bottom. So 180, and then I'll hit enter, and there's that 13/15. So notice we still keep the -7 out front, okay, and 13/15 is the proper fraction. And I've added our simplified result. Okay, so frequently you'll need to convert between different types of fractions: decimals, mixed numbers, improper fractions, etc. So all of that can be done on your calculator basically using these buttons and the toggle button.